that comes later, you will want to access later. So welcome everybody to the Sunday Writers Salon. My name is Angie, the founder of Dominican Writers Association. And today I will not be teaching, but Massiel here, who has been a salon member for quite some time, has agreed to teach the next month. So for Maciel, because you won't see my face very often around here. Okay, so enjoy the workshop, folks. If you came in late or anything, feel free to, well, you're not late, you're on color people time. But feel free to email me. Maciel is also going to send a feedback form, so we would really appreciate if you complete the feedback form so that she knows, you know, if this workshop was helpful for you, if she should continue teaching it, if she should improve anything or whatnot. So would really appreciate if you complete that. We will send it to everyone at the end of the workshop, okay? But in the meantime, take it away, Maciel.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Again, like I said in the beginning, thank you so much for spending your Sunday morning with me. But also thank you for showing up for yourself, because there was something in this workshop that called you to be here, and you actually, got out of bed, and you came here. So I appreciate it. Also, I want to say, is there anyone here that does not speak Spanish? Because my Spanglish loves to like mix in, and I want to make sure, you can type in the chat, feel free, or you can unmute yourself. But I also want to respect if someone doesn't, that I make sure I translate.
I don't know Spanish.
Okay, thank you for telling me. I'm gonna try.
I'm lying.
Oh, I thought it was somebody else. No, because two people unmuted at the same time. That's why I was like, wait. Eleni, you know more Spanish than me, girl. All right, so should I give 2 more minutes, Angie, or should we get started?
Get started. Whoever came late, it's on them. The workshop starts at 11.
Be punctual, people, next time. All right, so let's get started then. Oh, I see one person getting in. All right, let's do this. Just want to check in. Does everyone see my screen? Please unmute yourself. Oh, thank you. All right, so let's get started. So welcome, everyone. This workshop is called Letters to My Younger Self, where we're going to be tapping into different versions of us, wherever that takes you. So a lot of people are asking, are we writing to like toddler me, or like teenage me, or like me, adult me? Wherever the prompt takes you, however old you are, are some prompts that are very specific in age. But I'm not too like, you have to write to this age or you have to do this. Like wherever the writing takes you, that's where I want you to go. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so our creative flow for the day, we're gonna start with some quick introductions. Then I'll have a quick 3-minute free write just to like warm up, get our juices flowing. We'll jump right into the writing prompts, where we'll have 5 minutes for each writing prompt. I'll kind of check in with you guys if you need like an extra minute or so. But then I would love to share some time at the end for you to share if you want to. You don't have to share, but if you would like to, I would love to hear, even if it's just one line that stood out to you, or if you would just like to share anything about the workshop itself. And then we'll save some time at the end for questions. And as Angie mentioned, there'll be a little form at the end for you to write what you liked, what you didn't, how you felt about the workshop. And I would really appreciate if you guys fill that out. So that gives me an idea of how I can improve. So with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, so introductions. Say your name. You can either unmute yourself. I would prefer for you to unmute yourself because it's kind of hard for me to see the chat right now. But say your name and your answer to the following question. You discover a time machine that can take you to any point in time. Where do you go? What do you do? I'm not going to explain that question too much. However you interpret it, that's how it shall be. But yeah, you're free to write it in the chat or unmute yourself.
Can you put the question in the chat so that as a visual person, I could read it again?
Sure.
Thank you.
Type in. I'll type it in the chat. You're welcome. And that was you, Andrea. I recognize that voice.
Thank you.
Hey, girl. So again, you discover a time machine that can take you to any point in time. Where do you go and what do you do? Don't be shy, guys. Y'all gonna make me go first.
I can go first.
Yes, please.
Hi.
Hi.
And hi. That question. My name is Lilian Arias, disculpen. If I had a time machine, I would go back to the day where my mother passed away. I spoke to her right before she left us. And I would like to go back to that day because even though I was her caretaker and I would see her every day, I feel like that day I could have definitely, made it an effort to go and see her. That's it. Sorry. Thank you. Okay.
No, thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. I do want to put out there that this is a workshop where we're healing and we're talking about, we're being very vulnerable, I don't know about you guys, but it's easier for me to be vulnerable with strangers than with people that I know. So everyone here, I just want to put that out there. This is a safe space. We respect everyone's decisions and what they decide to share, and we won't share this outside of here. This is just for this writing community. But thank you so much for sharing that. I really resonate with that, as I lost someone really close to me very recently as well.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Hi, I can share.
Yes, you can share.
Hi,
Go ahead.
my name is Idalmi Acosta. And if I had a time machine, I will go to the future and I will talk to my future self. I think for me, I just know that it's all gonna be all right. Like I wanna know what do the fruits of all my efforts, what do they amount to? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, lucky for you, we're going to kind of get to do that today. So you're going to travel to the future and you're going to have that speech ready.
All right.
Thank you for sharing. Would anyone else like to share or introduce themselves?
Yeah, I'll go. My name is Jahida. If I could go back, or if I could go to any point, yeah, I'd say I'd go back. I'd go back to when my older son was young, about 10 years old maybe. And I would have liked to understood that my mental health issues were hurting him, and I would have probably been more proactive then to start healing myself sooner so that my monsters weren't attacking him as well.
I like how you said that, your monsters, because we're also going through stuff, right? And sometimes it's intentional or not intentional, or we're not even aware. It could be something like so simple and it can impact someone else in a totally different way. So thank you so much, Ahida, for sharing.
Sure.
I would like to say that if you'd like to share, to please remember to keep your mics on mute and just raise your hand so that I can see, and that way we respect whoever's sharing. But I think I saw Felix hand go up.
Yes. Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've been back, but I think that my I would go back to 1995. I got mugged at gunpoint, so that's kind of my hero's journey and also my villain arc.
Mm.
And so that's how I got really deeply introduced to poetry, was at the cusp of 1995, 96 as well. So I lost myself, found poetry, fell in love with it, then I found a purpose. So 95.
Mm. I love that you said that because I find purpose in writing and I find it really healing as well. So sometimes in order for me to process things, I have to write them down, and me wanting to or not, they somehow come out as poems, which is a gift. So thank you for sharing, Felix. Mary?
Hello, everyone. My name is Marianne Rojas. I go by Mariana or Mary, whichever one. And if I had a time machine, I would go back to the day Mama told me about her dream, which was the day after we gathered Papa's bones when he passed away in Autopista Duarte in DR on a car crash. So we went to gather his bones, and I mean, I was really young. I was 15, and I was helping her carry this pain. But the following night, she had a very intense dream. And I think at that age, I just knew how to listen, but I didn't know what to say. So I think when she finally passed, I think she carried that dream with her. And I wish I was a little better equipped to help her hold that information for the years to come. So
Thank you so much, Mary. I'm so happy to see you. I love that you said that you're good at listening. And I know you may have your feelings about what happened, but I do want to tell you that sometimes that's all a hurting person needs. You know what I mean? Like, I know you don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. But just you being here and listening and accompanying me, that speaks volumes. It speaks more than what your words could say. So thank you so much for sharing. Arlenis.
So I'm Arlenis. I'm Arlenis. If I had a time machine, I will go back to, it'll be the year 2006. Fuck.
Let it out.
Okay, I did not know this was gonna happen.
You gotta let it
All right,
out.
so it'll be the year 2006. It'll be a Thursday morning. And it'll be the moment that I was rushing to school and my brother was asking me for a hug. And in this time machine, I go back and hug him and I tell him I love him. Because my memory fails me and it haunts me now that I don't know if I ever went back to give him that hug. Because I didn't know that was going to be the last time I saw him. So that'll be where I'll go. I wouldn't change anything, but I would just let him know that I love him.
Thank you so much. I'm with you. I send you a big hug.
Thank you.
It's like complicated because it's like things of life. If you wish you knew, you would do so many other things so differently. But I resonate a lot with you, and just not even changing things. I like how you said that I wouldn't change anything. I would just give him that so that he knew. And I want to tell you that I know he knows.
Yeah, I know he knows too.
But thank you so much for being vulnerable with us and sharing that. And sometimes you think something's not going to come out the way you want it to.
Oh, that's so funny. In my head, I had, oh yeah, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. And then, oh, feelings are feelings.
Yeah. And they know how to check us real fast. So much for sharing. And All right, let me, because I'm like, yo te amo a ti, so we could talk all day. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Shayna?
Hi, it's Sheena.
Sheena. Hi, Sheena.
Yes. Hi. If I had a time machine, I would go back to the summer right before I turned 16. In my memory, that's when I felt the freest. That's when I felt the wildest. That's when everything just seemed to align. I had like 10 sweet 16s that I was coming out in. All my friends had the time to spend the summer together. I was not paying attention to no boys. We would just, running the streets wild and free and having a great time. So I definitely would go back to the summer before I turned 16.
Thank you, Sheena. I agree with you. Like, first of all, I just want to say I love how everyone has a specific, like, literally a specific time, because I was very general when I got to this question. I was like, maybe when I was a kid, but everyone's like, no, I'm going back to April 14th at 2:37. So that just means that you see how our memories just stick. Like there's probably other things that you don't remember exactly date and time and etc. But certain memories are just so vivid, like in our minds, that we know exactly where in time we would like to travel. So thank you for sharing. Andrea and then Marlene. Oh, and Eduardo. All right, Andrea, Marlene, and Eduardo. Andrea, you could go first.
I'm gonna let Eduardo go first. I'm gonna go after.
Okay.
I have a lot of people around me que están hablando mucho, you know.
Got you, girl. Got you. It's okay. Everybody in my house is threatened right now. I'm like, if y'all come in this room and say one thing, Marlene.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marlene. I would go back in time. I would go back to April 4th, 2008. And I would just tell myself, your life is about to change drastically. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time. And everything will be okay.
I think a lot of times we need to remind ourselves that. Like,
yeah,
we get so lost in, like, honestly, things that don't really matter, but like our brains just don't know how to let it go. And it just like, you know what I mean? It's like kind of like a puzzle that we just keep adding more pieces to, but we still haven't figured out the ones that we already have.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you for saying that, because I totally agree with you. I'm an overthinker, so I'm thinking about things that I said literally 5 minutes ago and what I could have said and how many times I could have said it in a different way. And then I'm like,
I do the same thing.
I'm like, you're stressing about something that like literally already happened. Like that's it. But yeah, that is so true. So thank you for sharing, Marlene. Eduardo, what happened to your hand? You wanted to share, then you regretted it?
Oh, no. Yo creo que
okay.
comencé a hablar y like the system is like, yeah. No, but I'll share. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hello, hey. I think that I would go back to witness who my dad was as a child, because my idea of him was like a fully formed being, a grown-up. And now I'm his age, when his health started declining and I barely have it together. And yet he told me a lot of stories of his childhood, very vivid stories, that I'm just like, wow, we had so many parallels in both our upbringing. And so I have this idea of him in my head, and I would really love to witness who he was as a child, and what I now recognize to be a very hard life. Like, that's what I would do.
Eduardo, thank you so much. Like, you saying that, I have this idea of him that resonates and is so true, because we don't really know exactly, like, we don't get, like, you're born and you don't get to watch a full movie of like everything that your parents had to go through. And sometimes a lot of those things explain a lot of things that you get to see. You get to see this part of them, but you don't know why you get to see that part of them. So I love that you said that you would like to see what's different between your idea of him and kind of like of what actually happened, or like what shaped him to be that way. That's really beautiful. Maybe you can tap into some of that today. But thank you so much for sharing. Andrea, you sure you want to go last? Because there's more hands going up, so I don't know how last.
I'm gonna go now. I'm
All
gonna
right.
go now. All right. Thank you. Hi everybody. I'm Andrea. I'm also, it's been a minute since I've been back. So thank you, Massiel, for facilitating such a beautiful space.
Thank you.
So I've been thinking about where I would go back, and I think I just would go back to my childhood, and just because my family makes fun of me because I me meto en un tubo, and like I block everybody out, and like in my own world, daydreaming. I was always daydreaming when I was a kid, and there are things that happen while I was in Dominican Republic, while I was living home in Miami, and that I wish I was a little bit more present for, that I could say like, oh, I remember a little bit more. Especially like living in like being with my grandmother in Dominican Republic, because now she no longer lives there. She lives here in Miami, and I haven't been able to go back to my grandmother's home. And so, and I wish as an adult, especially, hindsight 2020, I would be more appreciative of, especially, I like to write stories about those times.
Thank you, Andrea, for sharing.
Then,
I definitely think you have some stories to write. There's a poem in there somewhere when you told me you'll be always daydreaming. Daydreaming is good to me, in my opinion. But sometimes I do think that you daydream kind of like to time travel on your own, but then you kind of want to also be present. So it's like balancing both. But yeah, there's definitely a poem in there. Once you said I daydreamed a lot while real life was happening, that's real. Like that's just what happens. But yeah, thank you for sharing, Andrea. Caroline! Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Right, guys, this is my college friend that I haven't seen since college, and she's here today in my writing workshop. Can you guys believe that? Sorry to put you on the spot, girl, but I just had to say that because I haven't seen you in so long. You're on mute. I still can't hear you. Is it me? Can anyone else hear?
No, I
we
can't.
can't hear.
we can't hear her now.
Oh, okay. I can't.
Maybe you have to dial in.
Are you connected to like something? Like is your AirPod on or something?
Sometimes you just have to like reset the audio. Yeah.
All right, she'll be back. All right, I don't want to butcher your name, Kiona. If I say your name wrong, please correct.
Yeah, you almost got it correct. It's Kiana, but it's like spelled
Kiana.
really weirdly.
Kiana. All right. Hi, Kiana.
Hi, pleasure to meet you all. This is my second session that I've been joining. I joined last week, so I'm really excited about being part of this community. My If I could travel back in time, it would probably be to the day I was born, and as crazy as that sounds, to witness and to go back to. I feel like a part of me is like longing throughout my whole life for a different perspective of my mother. I kind of envy the people who have like good relationships with their mom and who kind of just like have these different beautiful perspectives of my mom. So, I mean, of their mom, excuse me. So I feel like when it comes to my mom, I feel like if I were to witness the birth of my life or the creation of life and just the hardship and pain she's had to go through when it came to birthing me and my twin sister, I think I'd have just a better understanding of her life and how it was different before me. And yeah, I just think I'd want to see what that was like and just how the perspective and dynamic changed once I came into the world. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. So guys, this is just the introduction question, so I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm gonna take one more person because we haven't even started the first prompt and it's already 11:30. But if you would like to share to this prompt, just type it in the chat really quick, and then if we have time at the end, I'll go back and read. I'll take Jasmine, and then we'll move on to the next prompt. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, Massiel. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, I think the question was about the moment where we want to go back to.
Yeah, you discover a time machine that could take you.
Yeah. Right. So my moment was, I mean, so many things are happening because my mother just passed away, and I'm always thinking about the last day I saw her, which was December 13th, 2023. And I originally planned to be with her during Christmas, but some things happened and I couldn't get down. And I you know, was making sure that the rest of the family was with her, kind of thing. And I think I'm still in shock. And my siblings are as well, because we just thought we were gonna have her a little longer. Then she passed away on the 4th in January, and my plan was to be with her for the New Year, the Three Kings Day kind of thing. And I always think about the fact that I didn't make it. I didn't make it in time. And that I'm always thinking of that last day because, you know, I put her in her Christmas pajamas. I put her in everything. She was in a rehabilitation in a nursing home at that time because she just needed so much. And me and my siblings and my aunts and everyone were just running around the clock with her. And I just felt like I should have stayed longer to take care of her and not go back to my business here, because I have a business. And you know, and I just thinking about that. At the end of the day, it wasn't like, for me, as I think about it, you know, she was worth more than me going back. But I didn't think that I was able to stay longer, you know, because because I was thinking about sustaining myself right now, you know. But I think about that a lot of that moment, you know. And I know she always felt loved by everybody in the family, especially her kids, especially me and my siblings. But I think it hits me even harder, and it reminds me of that last day in that moment, especially when people come up to me and say I'm like her, because I am a lot like my mom. And especially when anyone mentions that I look like her, or I resemble her, or I resemble who she was.
Yeah.
It kind of hits me.
Yeah.
Because she was such a powerful being herself. She lived her purpose. And I knew that. And I told her that even when she was in bed. You know, I would tell her, yo sé que Dios cumplió el propósito contigo, you know. And I would tell her she knew exactly, because my mother was a person of faith. But she just, you know, she was a community activist. She was a business woman. She was, and even at her funeral wake, we were there 4 hours, and there was people coming and coming. And at the end of the night, it was packed. You know, it was like 1,000 people standing even to the outside to pay their respects to my mom, politicians, all kinds of people that my mom's friends. And it overwhelms. But I know I have to write about my mom, and I've been doing a lot of that. Like, I haven't even written about myself the last couple of months, or anything, or any of my personal projects that kind of like went off the deep end.
Yeah.
You know, I just been thinking about her and writing about her.
Yeah, you know what I would tell you is, one, I want to start by saying, like, I want you to forgive yourself. I hear a lot of blame, but you also need to understand that if life would give us the gift of us knowing every single thing that's going to happen, then we wouldn't really be living life, you know? We would kind of be following a script in a way. Everything you said, I resonate a lot because the person that I recently lost also asked to see me and I didn't make it either. So um, hopefully you can, when you are ready, you can write about it. I'm not ready yet, so I'm not tapping in there. But if you're ready, I definitely recommend you to write because writing is healing. So thank you so much, Jasmine, for sharing. I know I said you would be the last one, but I know Caroline, you were going to share. So after Caroline, we're going to move on to the next prompt. Caroline.
Hi, can you hear me now? I
Yeah.
hope so. Okay, sorry, I had so many issues connecting.
No,
Yeah. It's been a rough morning, but I'm glad I'm here because I really need to get back to writing. I feel like when I was younger, I used to write so much. And like in elementary school, fourth grade, I remember one time I was in a poetry class, like we would break, I had like a slam book and we'd always write. And I had wrote this poem about my sister that they made me, not made me, but they, okay, announce your poem all over in front of the auditorium, in front of the entire school. Like being a little girl doing that is like, okay, I think after that I kind of like just stopped writing for a while. But if I could go back in the time machine, I would say being a young girl and making a decision to not live with my parents and live with my grandparents. I think after making that decision to like stay with my grandparents, it kind of put me in a whole turmoil for a long period of my youth. And I would go back to let me know that it was okay. Sorry, I'm vulnerable today, but
don't be sorry.
I would go back to let me know I made the right decision. And be able to be more present in that. And not go through the, using weed to escape and sex, alcohol, all that. Probably could avoid that, but part of life.
So happy to see you. Thank you so much.
Happy to see you too.
Yeah, sharing your writing is like super intimidating, especially if you're writing about something that's really personal. And on top of that you probably never shared with anyone, like for me.
Yeah, like even speaking now, it's like, oh my God, I've been like so quiet for so long. It's like, all right, just talk and then just cry. Like, no.
I have to remind myself sometimes the same thing. Like, okay, so like I tell myself like, oh, I don't want to write this down because I'm gonna get emotional. And then I'm like, so what? Like, where, if I don't get emotional here, then like, where am I gonna get emotional? Where am I going to let it out? Where am I going to release? I need to prioritize that because we don't do that. Yeah. Like we're so busy with like follow the routine, get through the day. You gotta survive. You gotta do this. Me comes all the way down here, and then I'm pretty sure by the time you get almost close to the bottom of the list, you add like 30 more things, right? Yeah. So again, don't be sorry. I know that this workshop is going to pull on many different emotions. I hope it takes you on a happy journey, but if it takes you wherever it needs to take you, then that's your body telling you we need to release. All right. So with that being said, yes, let's release. With that being said, I'm going to move on to the next prompt. If you wrote something in the chat regarding this, I don't think anyone did, but let me just go through really quick because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm ignoring them. I promise you, I'm not ignoring you if you wrote something in the chat. It's just really hard to see the chat and the screen at the same time. I think everyone got to share. I think everyone is just commenting on each other. All right, if I missed you, I'm sorry. I will go back, I promise. All right, prompt number 1. Would anyone love to... Oh, we got the free write going on. See, guys, all right, we're gonna do this quick. So 3 minutes, really quick, just to get your your pencil movie. Think back to a time in your life when you could have used advice from a wiser you. So this is like you giving you yourself advice from that time. 3 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, right.
Maciel, I missed the prompt. Can you put it on the chat or repeat it, please?
Yeah, I'll type it in the chat, but this is just a free write. Think back to a time in your life when you could have used advice from a wiser you. So new you telling younger you and advice. All right, start wrapping up that last sentence. We have about 45 seconds left. All right. How was that? Good? Got your pens moving, your juice flowing? I see people like their eyebrows was like this. I'm like, damn, you're probably cursing yourself out right now. Be nice. Be gentle, guy. Remember, this was you that didn't know anything before this happened. All right, so our first prompt. Who would like to volunteer to read this quote, please? Unmute yourself. Please don't make me go teacher and like randomly pick somebody and like.
What
Is
are
it
we
me?
reading?
What are we reading? Yeah, because yo no veo, nada más veo letters
Sí,
T.
Oh,
yo
you
estoy
guys,
esperando para leer, pero no veo nada.
oh, you guys don't see?
No, it only says letters T. Healing through stories.
Wait, so you guys can't see my screen?
We can see your
We
screen.
We
see
can
a
see your
screen.
screen,
Pero
but it's
no
just
lo que,
frozen on that.
yeah, and it's not what you're seeing.
Like it's the first page. It says 1 of 22. And
What?
it's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
What? So you guys just telling me this? I'm here thinking you guys are seeing my entire screen, everything.
I'm here thinking that that was the layout.
Y'all thought that that's it. All I had was the letter C for you guys today. Let me stop sharing my screen and share it again. Okay. Okay, do you guys see my screen now?
It's blank.
No?
Está en blanco. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ahora sí.
Yes.
Guys, y'all almost gave me a heart attack. I was like, I said so
No,
much.
you're good. You're good.
All right, technical difficulties. But yeah, one person please raise your hand so that like we don't just like shout over each other. But anyone would like to read this quote?
I'll go real fast.
All right.
I kept it a little bit more general because I need a whole lot of time with my younger self to tell me some things. So started
Oh,
saying
oh, I
yeah.
read the quote, but you can share. You can share.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, you want me to read? Oh, you want me to read this? I could do
Yeah,
that.
usually I save the sharing for the
Okay.
end, but if
I
you're
got you. No problem. No problem. Okay. So growing up is losing some illusions in order to acquire others. Virginia Woolf.
Thank you. And put a pin on that because I want to hear what you want to say.
You got it.
All right, just check it in. Guys are seeing a different screen now? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so prompt 1, write about an illusion you had as a child that turned out not to be true. I got a lot of these. First one, being an adult for me. That was my biggest illusion. Like I was dying to grow up. And now I'm here and I'm like, yo, this is whack.
This is ghetto.
Take me back. This is real ghetto. Or you can write to the following prompts. When I grow up, I wish I was blank years old so that I could blank. That was my favorite line to hit on my mom every time I was mad at her. I wish I was 18 so that I could move out. So yeah, we have 5 minutes for this prompt. I'll let you guys know when we're getting closer to 1 minute, but ready, set, right. I'll put it in the chat as well because I know some people are looking at the chat. All right, you guys have about 30 seconds. Start wrapping up that last sentence. All right, how was that? So like I said, we're going to share in the end if you are up for it. So I'm just going to go quickly into the next prompt. Still good, everyone can see my screen, right? Okay, just checking in because now you guys made me panic. Aleni, since your hand is already up, I'm gonna pick on you. Can you read this quote, please?
Yes. I think one of the things I'm most proud of in myself is that I'm okay to fail in front of the world. I'm okay to make mistakes and get back up and try again. Solange knows.
All right, a lot of us, including myself, need to become a little bit more okay with failing yourself and sometimes not meeting expectations. So with that being said, here's prompt number 2. Write about a time in your childhood where you failed at something, but instead of giving up, you tried harder. 5 minutes. Enjoy your writing. 30 seconds left. Start wrapping up. All right. I see a lot of concentrated faces. I love it. All right. So part of this workshop was inspired. I'm not sure if anyone has read A Letter to My Teenage Self that Salon wrote to herself, but we'll be reading a smaller version of that letter. And after this workshop, please feel free to go read it if you're drawn to it. But would anyone like to volunteer to read part of her letter? Can everyone see it? Is it like big enough?
Yes.
Okay. Jasmine, are you raising your hand to read?
Yes, yes, I can read it.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Is this part of a larger book, or is this just to know where the reference is, if we wanted to read her work?
Yeah, so I literally just Googled it, and then there's like a website that has her entire letter. So this is part of it. Yeah, I think this is the beginning.
Okay. Phrases of me. A Letter to My Teenage Self by Solange Knowles. There will be fear, a lot of it. There will be triumph, a lot of it. There will be constellations you want to reach for, but can't put your finger on. You will trace them like the scars on your body you got from trouble and the times of your life. You will take the long way to get to these Orions. The long way will become a theme in your life, but a journey you learn to love. You will dive head first without looking into phrases that you are certain of who you are. Some of these stages include the dance is life, aka this leotard is my second skin phase. The Bible thumping church camp phase, which coincided and contradicted with the Fiona Apple fan club president phase. The Nas aficionado brown lip liner and Vaseline phase. The Rasta vegan thrifter who is determined to marry Brandon Boyd phase. The football player's girlfriend who wears braided blonde highlights and swears by capri pants phase.
Thank you, Jasmine.
You're welcome.
So yeah, this prompt is called Phases of Me. So in this prompt, I welcome you to explore. You can write a poem that lists the different phases of your childhood. So it should start with the blank phase. Again, if you don't write poetry, that's fine. Write it however it calls you. But this is my phase. Yes, they're real. Don't make fun of me, because at this time it was popping. All right. The name on my belt phase. If y'all know, y'all know. Curly hair, straight bangs phase. The skinny jeans and white up phase. So that was my example. I want you to take some time and just think of the different phases of yourself, because believe it or not, we didn't realize we have a lot of layers. Okay. So all right, let me stop talking. 5 minutes. Let's hear it. I have about 1 minute left. All right. So a lot of these prompts are going to take you there. You're not going to finish them. I hope you go back to them. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am because I'm just enjoying this way too much. Uh, so the next prompt is actually from extra content from The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. And here's a little poem that she wrote called When I Am Old. Would anyone like to read it?
I can read it.
Yes, please.
Okay. When I am old, years from now, when wrinkles decorate my skin like henna, when bones rattle mimicking a bag of coins, when my hair is no longer thick and full, but these wisps of moon, I will shake my head, a wistful smile tugging at the corner of my lips, taking a walk down the street of memories. I will wander at my younger me, who thought she knew so much, who knew she was so confused, who needed rules, if only to break them. I will wonder at the girl I once was, and think, if only she knew what I know now, and be thankful that she didn't.
Thank you, Andrea. That last line hit for me when I first read this. And
oh my goodness, this is beautiful.
Mic drop.
yeah, going back to our introductions, a lot of us, we always think like that. Like, if only I knew this and if only I knew that. But you also got to give yourself that grace and be thankful that you didn't, because a lot of things wouldn't flow, right? It's like a time machine. When you go back and you change something, it's inevitable that something else changes. So same thing. Thank you, Andrea, for reading that. All right, so here we are. Prompt number 4, Dear Me. Write a letter to your favorite age. So, dear 4-year-old me, or dear 10-year-old me, dear teenage me, dear me in love. Whichever me is your favorite, I want you to write her a letter. Got 5 minutes to start it. We'll have a little over a minute left. All right. Write that last word in. Como que el tiempo se va rapidísimo when you're writing. I don't know. Like time is flying because it's already 12:20. But I'm gonna take the moment to say right now we have 2 more prompts left, and I know we're supposed to end at 12:30. Sorry, Angie. If you have to go, I totally understand. But if you're okay with us going a little over, we have 2 more prompts left, and then we can share. But how's everyone feeling so far? Good? Good?
A lot of releasing. A lot of
Mhm.
releasing.
As should be. As should be.
Feeling good.
I'm glad. Okay. So I'm going to embarrass myself for a little bit. So there's a prompt, which is the prompt you guys will be answering to next, but I wrote a poem to the following prompt. If anyone other than me would love to read it, I would appreciate that. But this is my response to the question. If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
I read it.
Whoever. Y'all fighting for it. Eleni got her hand up. She didn't even
Oh
let me
no,
finish.
go ahead.
Me,
Go
me,
ahead,
me.
go ahead.
Wait, you muted her.
Aleni, you want it? You go ahead.
I mean, Eleni could do one.
Jahida, we can break it.
I was
I
just
can
gonna
do,
say that. You guys
yeah.
can put one side and one side, and that'll be even cooler.
All right,
Yeah,
go ahead.
okay.
Take the first part.
Okay, cool. So I'd say you a poem. I'd say you will always be a poem. Some poems make fire. Some poems play a musical instrument with your heartstrings. But poems live forever. They rest on pages. And even if they're only in your notebook, they rest. I'd say rest. I'd say you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't always finish your poems at once. I'd say you're always beautiful. You are always beautiful.
And yours, and beautiful, and always beautifully yours. I'd say you can dream. I'd say, let me hold you, like if you've never been held, because you've never been held like a poem. But who needs arms when you can float free and be immortal, just like a poem?
Thank you. You know, you write stuff.
Dios mío.
I read
Dios.
but like when other people read it, I'm like, oh, that's actually good. I love it. Thank you guys for reading that. That was really good. Thank you. I'm not gonna look at the chat because I see a lot of like hearts and stuff, and then y'all gonna make me blush, and y'all gonna have that live on camera. But thank you guys. All right. So with that being said, we are going to tell ourselves some things. Prompt number 5. If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? I would like you to challenge yourself to start your response with, I'd say blank. You're welcome to start it that way. If not, just tell yourself everything that you want to say. Remember to be kind. I'm just going to say that. But go ahead, 5 minutes starting now. about 45 seconds left. And time. Y'all still with me? We're good. Aleni, I just
good.
You're like the first one that I see. So I'm just looking at all your facial expressions. And you know, like when you do your makeup, you make like the ugliest things. Like when you put your mascara on, you got a face. I love your writing face. Like it's just like, I could tell that you in there. Like, all right, let me not put you on the spot, but last prompt that we have, we finally reached the end, the moment you have all been waiting for. If you have to run, I totally get it because I know it is currently 12:30, but this will be our last prompt. If you have some time, stick around. If not, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate your presence here, and I hope you got some writing and healing done. Mary, thank you for coming. Enjoy your Sunday. Okay, so for this prompt, you will write a letter to yourself as a younger person. Perhaps you as a youngster starting middle school after moving, or you as a freshman entering high school, perhaps you as a young person on the brink of some other major life transition. Like in memoir writing, this task involves writing about the past with the knowledge of the present. So I want you to write to yourself as you now writing to smaller you, whichever age or phase of you that is. So some strategies I would like for you to think about yourself at a particular age. Let that be 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 25. Then think about how you have changed and grown since that age. What would you do differently? What would you change if you had the chance? Also think of your tone of voice you use and the compassion you have for others who are struggling with a major decision or life transaction. That's something to keep in mind when writing to yourself. Be compassionate. There are a lot of things that we don't have control of. Consider adopting this tone as you write to your younger person. Be generous to yourselves. So speak to yourself as if you were actually speaking to a child. All right. So like imagine you, younger you there, how would you speak to yourself? Got some rules, not really rules, but number one thing, be kind to yourself. I know you are speaking to yourself. So just remember again, yes, this was you. This was you with everything that you knew at that moment. Give your younger self advice. So you're writing as your older self to your younger self, giving yourself an advice. It could be about one moment, or it could be like Salon's letter where she's just writing overall through her younger self. And try not to focus on one specific moment in time. Try to write to, let's say, your toddler self or your teenage self. Am I going too fast or we're good? I already see people writing, so let me stop talking. There you go. You guys have 5 minutes starting now. We have about 30 seconds left. Finish that sentence. All right. If you're still writing, go ahead. I'm going to take this opportunity to, one, thank you guys for sticking around. I know we're a little over. But now we're going to open up the floor for some sharing. Since we're a little over time, I'm going to ask if you would like to share, maybe keep it brief. And if you would like to email me your piece, I will read it. We could do that. That'll be really cool. But please raise your hand and I will call on you in that order. Again, if you have to go, I totally understand. Don't worry, I won't get offended. I know y'all have a life, so I want to respect that. So yeah, I'm going to open this up for sharing. How was that, guys? I hope some.
That's some intense stuff.
Yeah, I just want to say, Massiel, thank you for being you.
Yeah, I was
Thank you
like,
for being
I
you.
think that was beautiful. Like
Thank
what the
you.
last prompt did to everything else was like, it was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank yourself. Like, stop giving me all the credit. Y'all doing the work. I'm just like,
We are, but you're holding the space. So thank you.
I just brought y'all here, but y'all doing all the writing. All right. So I saw Andrea and Felix raise their hand. So we'll start with that. And if you have to go, I get it. I understand. If not, until Angie kicks us out, we here. So Andrea, would you like to share first?
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna read from the last prompt because I think that kind of rounds out everything I've been writing about. Letter to your younger self. Hold fast to the bellyful laughs, curly hair bob, love on it completely. The stress will come and try to take your dark chocolate ringlets. Keep playing outside because your knees will thank you later for the ways your agility keeps you from running into walls that have been built and been placed in front of you. You are not responsible for anyone's healing, so don't pick up the pieces your mom and sisters leave behind. Use your sister's camera to take random pictures of the house in Hialeah. This is the last time you'll live there. You'll learn that your transition was a form of homelessness, pero no te preocupes, because your body will always be home.
You did not come to play. I love it. There were so many
Thank
lines
you.
that I loved. Like,
Thank you so much.
so
Thank you.
many lines. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I was trying to figure out how to put a heart here, but I guess it's not letting me do it. But heart for you. Felix.
Yeah, so I did it off the first prompt. I don't recall what it was. But I wrote it as a response before prompt one, the original prompt, the free write prompt. So I
Okay.
did it as a response to sent around the mugging. Don't buy that jacket. You don't understand the world around you just yet. You're too innocent to understand the politics of your environment. Your mother prays for good reason and sends you to church to get a better to better get a grasp of discernment. Save yourself over your desire to fit in and be fashionable. Blue isn't a color to wear in your neighborhood or any of the five boroughs. You won't understand what I'm saying at this moment, but trust me. I know the grown-ups around you aren't emotionally available, but hear me out. Don't buy that jacket. You don't know the Bloods and the Crips are going to war to establish themselves the most violent in the streets right now. You and your family are civilians. There is a war going on outside. Be modest, be meek, be you. Don't buy that jacket. You will escape death twice, but the last time will haunt you forever. It will make you lose yourself in the trauma of not knowing what safety and home means. You will lose your youth, but then again, you will discover poetry and the balm that it is, the grace that it offers, and the identity that you crave. I take it back. Buy that jacket. Who you will be in the future is who you're meant to be. Without intending to be blasphemous, you will understand this when you are older, but you will transcend your youth. With the same insistence that you understand yourself to be alive through to God, you will become your childhood dream. And though this sounds crazy, hear me out. The poet you will become will be amazing. And that is all due to trauma. So praise be to trauma.
First of all, I want to say I love your poetic voice. It was really soothing. I love the repetition. And I 100% agree. Like my poetry comes a lot from my trauma too. So I get that. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. And I'm so happy to see a guy, not for nothing. I love us girls, girl power. But I'm so happy you came because we've been trying to get boys in here to be writing. I don't know what's up with the boys. They're not trying to write.
Yeah. So Sundays is difficult. Sundays is difficult because it's church time at 11:30. So But
well, thank you for
streams are
coming
good.
here. And this is another version of God, but we in church right now too. All right. So thank you so much.
It's a congregation right here, baby. We got
Right?
this.
We're just preaching in another way. We
Yeah.
I feel the Holy Spirit. We're all being delivered today. It's a blessing.
That's facts, yeah.
Amen.
So thank you, Felix. Aleni, and then Jasmine.
Okay, so I'm gonna share the last one, the last prompt. You don't feel that way anymore. Not about mommy, not about your body, not about the family, not about your life, not about Disney, not about boys, not about sex, not about kids, not about mama or abuela or tia or tío or God. You don't feel that way anymore or think the same. You don't hate being here. Actually, you chose to love yourself. And when you decided that it is what you created it to be, you met your power. You learned your place in your family and you felt deeply in love with your body. You haven't stopped creating. You haven't stopped living or loving or crying. Now there are more tears for joy though. Now you know peace. Now you know how to identify chaos and you laugh. Because even if you get paid for it, you will never go there. Now you know love is who you now you know love is who and what you are. P.S. You're no longer right in hiding. You chose to live your dreams for a living. You're really that girl.
Yes, you is. Yes, you is. Everybody, you that girl, you that guy, you everything. And I love that line of you no longer choose to write in hiding. Cause believe it or not, y'all think I'm out here real confident and stuff. But before I used to tell my friends like, Caroline, you know, because I used to speak to you. I used to be like, oh, I'm gonna read you something that I wrote. And I'll be like, I'm gonna read you something, but you gotta turn around and you gotta close your eyes so that you don't look at me. And my friends would be like, girl, like we best friends for like, this is our 8th year, like, come on, get over it. And I'm like, no, it's too personal. You gotta turn around, close your eyes. So cheers to no longer writing and hiding. I love that. Thank you, Arlene. All right, so we got Jasmine and Jahaira, and I don't know how much time we got before Angie kicks us off, so let's keep it brief, but please share something that you wrote. Jasmine, Jahaira, and I see Carolina's hand right now. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. So what I wrote came out of all the prompts, the ones that really kind of flowed really quick for me to write was prompt number 3, the phases of me. And it kind of, I know I'm going to continue this because it got really deep and I didn't really know it was going to get there or like go there, but Okay, I'm just gonna read it out. My phases. Phases of me. The baggy t-shirt and pants phase. The wearing all black because I wanted to disappear phase. The eating like a bird because I was too scared phase. The no meat, cheese, or chocolate phase. The super, super long hair looking like in India as I was told phase. The present cut all off alopecia phase. The lounging vegetable phase. The staring all day long in my bed phase.
Thank you, Jasmine. I definitely remember the baggy tee, baggy jeans phase. Like that was my Sierra phase, you know? Like I just thought I was real cool. So thank you for sharing. And I love I think that this prompt was really cool because it brought back a lot of things that I had forgotten. Like, you know, like name on your earring phase. I was like, yo, that phase was so fire. Like MySpace phase, top 5 phase, like took me a lot of places. So thank you for sharing. Jahaira, Caroline, and I'm not sure if your name is Water, but we're gonna call you Water.
Okay. This is just a letter that I'd say to myself. The prompt that started with I'd say. And I'd say love yourself more. And for crying out loud, put yourself first. That's how you can be good for others by erecting boundaries, trusting your talent. Be honest with your therapist and quit the self-sabotage. You are brilliant even if nobody tells you. Even if they make you doubt yourself and douse your fire with ice cold water. Stop limiting yourself because others can't rise to meet you where you are. Honor your gifts and they will multiply. Help us both. What's up?
Thank you, Jahaira. So be honest with your therapist phase. That's a real phase right there.
Girl. For years, this
like
lady
another
still didn't know.
workshop.
Yeah.
That's another workshop, but we
Yeah.
gotta talk about that one.
Yes.
That's a beautiful name for a witch. I'm gonna write that down right now. Be honest with your therapist phase.
I thought we were supposed to just sit there and not say nothing.
The quiet. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you part of the stuff, not all of the stuff, because I can't.
Right?
You know?
Because then we're gonna be paying you for
Because
that.
then you're gonna try to hold me accountable, and that's weird.
Right. Caroline?
Okay. I did the from the I'd say as well. I would go with I'd say why not you? It's always been you. I'd say don't run from you. I'd say unraveling your mind is a beauty of you. I'd say I love you before waiting to hear those words from anyone else but you. That was it.
And you see, like that's how you know you a writer when your last line is like, boom. Top mic. That was fire.
Yeah, I haven't worked that so long. I felt good. Thank you.
Those I love you from yourselves is so different.
Like, I feel like when I was younger, I've never said I love you to myself. I didn't, that was not a thing. Like, you wait to hear from somebody else as not to look in the mirror and say I love you to me. Like, what?
Yeah.
I thought of that as a teenager.
So funny that you mentioned that because this workshop actually came from a video I bumped into on TikTok. And it was basically this girl that she started to tape a baby picture of herself in the mirror. And every morning that she would wake up, she will say something to herself. Like, you are beautiful, you are smart, you are powerful. And, you know, that kind of like, she realized how that healed her, but also gave her like this sense of power of like, wow, why am I waiting for other people to tell me these things? Right? Like, I need to hear this from myself first in order for me to actually believe this and feel this when I hear it from other people. So yeah, this workshop birthed from a TikTok post, but shout out to her. I forgot to mention in the previous prompt that we should have been looking at a baby picture of ourselves, but again,
it works. It works. Sorry, I'm gonna just tap in. So I have mine as my screensaver. And it's funny because every time I look at this picture, it reminds me of, I know joy and I know peace and I know I know fun and I know this stuff, like where I don't have to always feel either like guilty for like this newfound peace, this newfound joy, where it's like, this is not new to me, you know, like, so every day I look at it, I just say, thank you, girl. You know about this.
Yep, we forget, you know, like sometimes I call myself a sad girl. Sometimes I'm like, girl, you just way too sad. Like there was some happy in there. Why are you pretending? So yeah, we should try it. Last person to share. Can you remind me your name again? I know you said it at the beginning. I'm so sorry.
It's Lillian, but you can, it's okay. Water Lily.
Lily?
I don't know. It's Lily. It's Lillian,
Lily.
but you can
Okay.
call me Lily CC.
Lillian.
Okay. Hi, everybody. The way the grass feels poking through my Sunday dress as I lay and stare at the clouds pass by. Clouds of yellow honeysuckle tints that sparkle as they whisper, "You are such a bright soul. Keep on living in your dreams, for reality is not for you." Thank you. The poem is
right there. Listen, I know a lot of people are like, I'm not a poet. I can't go to this. Like, y'all don't even be knowing. Like, sometimes I write stuff and I was like, that's a poem.
Gracias,
Like,
gracias, 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 gracias.
de nada, con muchísimo amor. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Anyone else that I might have missed, take your chance to share before I wrap this up. I don't want to miss anyone. If you're drawn to share, please share. Don't be shy.
What about you? ¿Qué tú escribiste? Did you write?
I was busy being like,
oh, facilitator. Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah. You know, like I get anxiety, so I can't.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Igual. I write
don't worry.
3 words.
All of these prompts I have in my notebook on my phone that, you know, se va a dar para abajo ahí después de esto. But anyone else? If not, I'll go straight to the thank yous and embarrass myself with my baby picture that. Oh, wait, before I embarrass myself, I wanted to just end with this cute little
Don't
quote.
embarrassing yourself. You're not embarrassing yourself. You're showcasing the beauty that you are and the evolution of you. And you're sharing with us.
That part.
Yeah.
I love you.
No deja eso.
Thank you, Ajay. But I wanted to end with this quick little quote from Solange's letter as well. So there will be pain, there will be doubt, there will be beauty, there will be the unknown. There will be so many moments of joy and delight that the whole universe will feel painted in hues of amber and wonder. There will be times you are so sad you can't lift your head. There will be times you are so happy that the sensation of life knocks you down. But most importantly, there will be you, a whole lot of it. And you will feel good about who she is or he and who he or she will still be becoming. So don't forget that. There's still so many other phases of you. And here's me.
Qué chula.
I want to thank you guys so much for coming and being vulnerable together and writing things that you may or may have not had the chance to write and coming into community. But if you wrote something that you want to share with me, my email is right here, massiel.alfonso25@gmail.com. If you got my number or you follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram where we can DM each other poems. Trust me, if you start that though, you can't give up. Like we're gonna go back and forth, and that's that. But yeah, thank you for spending your Sunday with me, and I'll be teaching the entire month of March. So next Sunday's writing workshop, I believe, is If You Ever Want to Come Home Again. And we'll be writing about our interpretations of home and different types of homes. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. Lenny, let me say hi to my BFF before I jump on because I know she want to say hi.
She